When it comes to division and all that jazz, look at Bryce Young running out there. Okay, third quarter, game tied at 3. Panthers with the ball at their own 20. Chuba Hubbard gets the handoff. The ball punched out by DeMarcus Lawrence, who also recovers it. Defense huge in this one, and Lawrence making big plays for Seattle. Ensuing Seahawks drive, 3rd and 9. Sam Darnold steps up in the pocket, hitting A.J. Barner. He goes down inside the 5. 16-yard reception there for Barner, setting up a good opportunity here. 3rd and goal on the 2. Zach Charbonnet punches it in. Seattle's up 10-3. Scoring at a premium in this one. Ensuing Panthers drive, 3rd and 3 on their own 40. And Young looking for Teteroa McMillan. Pass picked off by Julian Love. Love runs it back to the 30. And check out, there's a Panthers fan here. He's trying to switch jerseys. Trying to switch up the luck. Changing his jerseys. I'm superstitious like that. Okay, Seahawks with the ball following the turnover. Darnold finds Barner. He gets a block, finds the end zone for the touchdown. Seattle goes on to win it 27-10. Of course, we'll see the Seahawks against the 49ers on Saturday on ESPN and ABC. And how about Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers taking on the Dolphins? Second quarter, Buccaneers trailing 10-7. Mayfield launching this one, looking for Jalen McMillan, but it's intercepted by Jason Marshall Jr. Mayfield unfortunately turns it over there. Ensuing Dolphins drive. Man, that Dolphins defense. Dolphins team's been pretty good, okay? 3rd and goal at the 11. Quinn Ewers, he finds Greg Dulcich for the touchdown. Dolphins lead 17-7 at the half. 7 minutes left in the 4th. The Bucs trailing 20-10. 1st and 10 at the Dolphins 32. Mayfield looking for Emeka Egbuka, but intercepted again by Ashton Davis. Mayfield turning it over. And again, credit to that Dolphins defense. Dolphins offense looked a little better with Quinn Ewers in there too.
Yes,
all right,
they did.
Late in the 4th, same score. Bucs with 2nd and 3. The Dolphins 31. Bradley Chubb strip sacks Mayfield. Just tough day for the quarterback spot for Mayfield. Quentin Bell of the Dolphins recovers it. Dolphins win 20-17. It's the Bucs' 4th straight loss. Here's Baker Mayfield after the loss.
Listen, to have a chance at home to get into the playoffs and win the division, wouldn't have it any other way. And obviously the things leading up to it, yeah, we'd love to change them, but still have a chance. Playing for the division at home, and I'll get this group ready.
There can't be more urgency, right? You're literally out of bullets now. Right?
Out of bullets, out of lives, and that's all right with me.
Again, they'll play for the division at home next Saturday. Dan will be on the call for that game. Does anybody want to win the NFC South? Dan, what has been the biggest issue of late for the Bucs and for the Panthers?
Well, defense lets them down in times in Tampa. And this has been a good defensive unit, at least organizational, over the past couple of years, but no consistent pass rush. And then the secondary, some of the mishaps that they've had. And then for Carolina, it's been the little bit up and down play. Bryce has been so good at times, and then at times hasn't necessarily performed to that level. And then I think overall, you're watching, there's not a margin for error that is extreme for these teams. And so it's ironic to see them struggle in short yardage situations at times the way that they have. I mean, we're talking getting into these 3rd and 3 or less, 4th and 3 or less. If you look on the left side, Carolina just in short yardage situations is just a very much so struggling football team. Tampa Bay on 4th down, it half. And so I'm looking at these teams, and so often 3rd and 1, they miss it. 3rd and 1, they miss it. 4th and 2, they miss it. And you never know when that conversion, again, this isn't an offense for either group that's necessarily explosive right now. And so I think this weekend, we're going to watch teams just battle it out, and which one of those teams can get that huge conversion in that big moment on that 3rd and short, 4th and short. I think it's going to be huge in the game.
Yeah, really fast. I have to correct the record on an omission. You're also on the game call. I'm over here just talking about Dan, so I'm sorry, Peter. You're on the call, too, with Chris Fowler, Lewis Riddick, Katie George. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be on the sidelines on one of these teams, and I'm looking at the Buccaneers and wondering what happened. They were 6-2, Laura, and they had wins over Seattle. They had wins over 49ers. They beat the Texans. These are great wins, 6-2, and to now just fall apart. But yet Baker said it best. We're playing for the division at home on Saturday, and that's all that matters. I know they have goals, and I know they're thinking MVP awards early on in the season. Get to the playoffs. You're at home against a team that you beat twice last year and a guy who used to be your OC. I think Tampa has to get it together, and they have to do it now.
Yeah, the Panthers' odds to win the division were as long as 25-1 entering Week 5. Credit to the way that they have at least gotten themselves to this point as well. But I'm with you on the Bucs. We've seen them look a lot better.
And they're healthy.
Yeah, right. They've weathered so many injuries and won those games. Now that they've got the guys back, they've got to start winning. All right, let's talk about the Ravens against the Packers in this one. Ravens needed a win in Green Bay Saturday to stay alive. Now remember, no Lamar Jackson or on this one. Malik Willis starts for the Packers. Tyler Huntley for the Ravens. Early first quarter is where we pick it up. First and goal for the Ravens. Derrick Henry takes the handoff, punches it in for his first score of the game. The Ravens take the early 7-0 lead. Early second quarter, score is tied at 7. Third and goal for the Ravens. Henry, once again, you expected a heavy dose of him, and that's what you saw early. Second touchdown of the game. The Ravens lead 14-7. So later in the second, the Packers now down 20-7. Willis keeping it himself. Look at him go. He rushes up the right side, 22-yard touchdown. Still, the Packers are behind 20-14, but 14 seconds left in the half. It's the same score. First and goal for Baltimore. Henry taking the toss to the right, scores his third TD of the game. Ravens leading 27-14 at the half. You wonder why we haven't seen more Derrick Henry in this offense. Over 2 minutes to play in the fourth. The Ravens lead by 10. The Packers 25. You saw Henry taking the toss, scoring his fourth TD of the game. Henry wearing a cheese grater, waving goodbye to the fans. The Ravens win the game 41-24. Mina, what was the biggest issue for that defense on Sunday?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Before we get to the Packers, I mean,
Absolutely.
goodness, there's so little in this world you can count on. Derrick Henry in December, year after year after year, amazing. The Packers' run defense, look, anytime you're averaging over 5 yards per carry running into stacked boxes, that's a team-wide failure, and that's exactly what it looked like on tape. Defensive line just getting pushed around over and over by the Ravens' offensive linemen, the linebackers getting pushed around by the Ravens' tight ends, and then the corners, the Packers' corners missing tackle after tackle. That really jumped out. If I'm someone playing the Packers in the postseason, assuming, you know, if they're the 7th seed or whatever, I watch this tape and I think, why throw the ball? Because goodness gracious, that was a bad show of run defense.
I mean, this is why you never let Mina go first when we get sent to the timeout defensive set.
I mean, what else do you say about this
because
game,
our brains work alike. But you're right. Like the edges of this Packers defense is as soft as Glorilla's lace front. Because when you think about what we saw from the Baltimore Ravens, it was absolute domination. And there you see Derrick Henry, but it was Keaton Mitchell as well. And that's what Mina was talking about. Keyshawn Nixon on a crack replace with an opportunity to make a tackle. He misses. We saw the same thing on the other side from Valentine. And what strikes me most is not only are the edges soft on the run, but the rush isn't there anymore. And the energy that we watched this defense play with from week 1 versus the Detroit Lions is totally gone, along with the confidence, Laura. And this is a bad defense entering the playoffs.
By the way, that is not the timeout corner, okay? I just want to